Hi, my dear friends. This is Lada from astrolada.com, and today I'm here with Babylonian ancient astrologer Krasi Atasio. Hello, Krasi.
Hello, Lada. Hello, everyone.
Glad to have you on the show, and it's a very interesting topic we're discussing today. And as you can see from the title, it's quite controversial. And actually, I published a few of your articles that speak about no free will, and they in Facebook, and they got so much discussion. People getting angry. Of course, we have free will. What is that? But why do you? Why is this bold statement? What do you mean there is no free will for the major big events in life? Do you mean like marriage, death, and
I do believe that there is a destiny. We all have destiny, and our destiny is encoded in our natal chart, in our horoscope. The free will is the way we perceive the events that happen in our life, the way we react. The free will is in the frames of our emotions, in the way we treat other people, the way we respond to God. That is our free will, limited. And there is one Bulgarian fortune teller, Slava Sivrukova, and she once said that the destiny we cannot change, but the events we can change with our attitude, with our emotions, and by the way we learn our lessons that we receive from destiny.
but if you are meant to be a doctor, you're gonna end up being a doctor. If you're meant to marry these two women, you're gonna marry those two women. Whether you live peacefully with them or no, the one will be pushing your buttons, but whether you react to upset or no will be up to you, basically. That's where the free will is. That's what you're trying to say.
Yes, certainly. And it's very important how we perceive life, how we learn our lessons, how we perceive the events that are happening with us.
Yeah, because one person might lose their job and dedicate their life to revenging the company, and and bringing it down. Another person might find it as an opportunity to, to find their true vocation, for example. But I've noticed that even with feelings, we don't have much free will. I don't choose who I'm going to fall in love with. It just comes and hits you. And also the big choices, sometimes we feel like we have a choice. Should I stay and live or in that country? But something, such an overpowering feeling comes over you that you can't stay in that country anymore. And this overpowering feeling, you did not create it. You did not talk yourself up to it. It just comes over you and it sweeps you. If you have to be somewhere else, circumstances arrange themselves in such a way, or even if there is nothing outside pushing you, something from inside, like a wave, like a tidal wave, comes and sweeps you. Or if you have to split up with your wife, for example, and it's something again comes and sweeps over you, and you cannot stay there, and you think this is your free will, that you've taken the choice and the decision. But even the ancients, they were saying that the gods would give them those feelings, the gods as the planets, so to speak.
I do believe that with prayers, we can change a lot. With the conversation with God, with good deeds, with good thoughts, moral thoughts, we certainly can change events, but the destiny is encoded in the horoscope, and I do not believe that we can change the horoscope.
Yeah, it's there. Well, other astrologers would argue that there are certain, like say Saturn conjunct Venus can play out with someone, spouse dying or whatever, or having a very hard love life, but it can be manifested as someone who is an architect. So how do you choose which one you're going to manifest, or is it still decided for you?
I believe it is decided because in the ancient astrology we have this what is called paranatalonta. It means that every single degree from the 360 degrees in the chart means something. And then you can really distinguish whether it will be about architecture really, or it will be about divorce or marrying somebody older than you, or all these different manifestations that you mean.
Okay. Is that you have a series that you're preparing about each sidereal sign that you started? You've already done 3 or 4 of them on my channel,
Yes.
and is that something you talk about it in those videos?
Part of it, yes, because in one video you cannot really talk one per degree, but it is really, the fate is encoded into these 360 degrees, additionally to the other factors in the horoscope.
So we do have actual information about all those 360 degrees. It exists out there.
Yes, it's quite complicated to find, quite complicated to translate, to make the right interpretation, indeed. But this knowledge exists, yes.
Wow. And in modern astrology, we use something like Sabian symbology, but it's too symbolic. I don't understand it. You know, a camel in the desert blowing a candle. Oh, okay, that's your destiny. So
yes. Yes.
But okay, so yeah, and I do believe we do have free will. I think our higher self has free will before it comes to choose the destiny. That's the free will kind of in the big picture, I believe.
Oh yeah.
That even our ambitions and big desires, whether you'll be successful, say as the company owner, it's shown there in the horoscope. It shows like a big ambition, and if you don't have it in the horoscope, you're just not going to have those desires that arise in you, isn't it?
Oh yes, certainly, exactly. It's the way you said it. Yes, again, it's according to the stars, especially the royal fixed stars play very important role in the rank and in your achievements in society, in career, in life, in any area in life of life.
Oh yeah, my cousin, who is born on the same day as me, and the same year, just a few hours later, and her moon is exactly conjunct Regulus. So from the age of 21, she's been this big boss in a big company. She became a partner, and now she's asking me, well, and 4 planets in the 10th house. So it's and she's born to be a boss. She will always be a boss. You know.
But what you said again, Regulus, and on the 10th house, which sign she has then?
She has Aries.
Oh yeah, so this explains a lot. Yeah.
She has Aries in sidereal and in tropical. It's Aries with 4 planets in Aries, both sidereal and tropical. So whichever we look at.
Regulus gives power already to the horoscope, especially if in an angle, especially angular sign, especially if, as you said, the moon is conjunct Regulus. It's already a very powerful sign that she will have achievements.
Yeah, and this is what pushes her. And someone without those stars, they don't have those ambitions. They might say like, why am I not a big boss? Why am I not famous or whatever? But it's not going to be eating them enough to push them in that direction somehow.
No, it's not given. If not given in the natal chart, you just don't get it. Doesn't matter how much you push. Doesn't matter how much you fight for it. If it's not given, you don't get it.
It kind of sucks. Why do we even try? Why do we even try?
Well, yes, this is encoded in the horoscope. Certainly, take the horoscope of Donald Trump, for example. Very good example. On the meridian, he has Aldebaran. You know, the most powerful.
Royal star.
Yes, a royal star. Hillary Clinton was trying to compete with somebody with Aldebaran on the meridian. Why is she?
And Regulus on the ascendant. The 2 royal stars.
Exactly. No chance.
As you say, for better or good, it doesn't mean he's a great leader or anything. It was meant for this person to be in power, to instigate something, to trigger.
This has nothing to do.
He has a merit, he's great or something, maybe, you know, but he's meant to reach that position.
Exactly. It doesn't matter how he will operate, how he will make use of the power. This is another story. The thing is that via this royal star on the meridian, exactly the 10th house, which is showing the rank, the career, he made his achievement. All life.
Yeah. And another thing though, if you have those royal stars, I've seen it in horoscopes, and nothing. The person is nothing. Why? Maybe is the horoscope wrong, or?
No. If the star is afflicted by Saturn, by Mars, no way, the star is not working then the same way. If the star is not conjoined the moon, the sun, the lot of fortune, on another important position, it will not work. It has to be on a key position and shouldn't be afflicted.
Okay, maybe it was afflicted when
I think so.
Because my mom, for example, has her moon on the Aldebaran. She's not rich. She's, but it's exactly opposite Saturn, which there you go. You gave me an example. So she always wanted to be rich, and she always wanted those luxuries and stuff of Aldebaran. But it's kind of she's doing that. She's done okay, But it's like Saturn opposing it. There we go. Yeah, you gave me the answer.
You said it yourself, see? Like right now, Saturn is in Scorpio, opposing Aldebaran. If a person is born now, this Aldebaran will not work.
Okay, so we're talking, this is, guys, sidereal zodiac. This is the constellations, yeah. Because many people say, what do you mean it's in Scorpio? It's inside. We have two zodiacs. One is tropical, one is sidereal. So, Krasi, you said you have great examples for us, how this big events in life are coded in the horoscope.
Let me show you one of the 4 examples I have was exactly Donald Trump. Let me show you very briefly his natal chart. Okay. I hope you see the natal chart of Donald Trump. Oh, excuse me, this is not his chart. Apologies. Look, this is the chart of Donald Trump. You see the meridian passing through the 15th degree of sidereal Taurus, and you have the star Aldebaran. It also, the sun is conjoined Capella, another star of money and success.
It's the star of wealth, yeah. It's very hard to see. I wish it can. Let me try something. You sent me those charts, didn't you? Let me see if I can share them.
Oh, yeah, if you could, would be great.
If you stop it for a little bit, I will try to, where is it?
Okay, I'm stopping.
You sent me on cases.
Yes. Until you search, I will say 2 words that you can see. Sun conjoined Capella is already a sign. If you have luminary conjoined one of these important fixed stars, is already a sign that the person will have certain achievements related to what the fixed star will give to the native, right?
And it's true, some people come with me and they would write to me, and it would sound like if someone read their chart and didn't know about those fixed stars, you'd think that they're mega, what's that called? The ones that are like, they say, I'm here to do something big, to create something important. And many astrologers would put them down. But when you see those royal stars, you see what is pushing them, basically. Here we go. Donald Trump, you said?
You have 4 cases. The one that is called fixed stars is the chart of Donald Trump.
Okay, here it is. It became bigger. Share your entire screen.
Oh, that's great.
Tell me if you see it good enough. Oops, wait.
Okay. You see all very clearly. Yeah.
Okay, so I'll just click on my picture so it shows all the time the chart. Okay, so you see it now?
This is not the horoscope of Donald Trump.
Okay.
Because I have 4 cases. The one written fixed stars is the horoscope of Donald Trump.
Here it is. So here it is, the meridian, the highest point in the horoscope. It's passing exactly. There is a star here that says Aldebaran. It's written with small. So it passes exactly the highest point in the horoscope through a royal star, Aldebaran. Plus on the ascendant is the royal star Regulus. You can see it here. Exactly on the ascendant.
Yes.
And the sun is conjunct the star
Capella.
Capella and Betelgeuse as well. There is another.
Yes. So you see all these factors to make person achieve high rank in society are present in the horoscope of Donald Trump.
Yeah. I'm just looking the rest. It's interesting with how all the stars are indicated there.
Other stars, not really, but Jupiter already in the second house, it's another, but it has nothing to do with the fixed stars, of course.
And it's in heliacal phase?
Yeah, but stationary. It's not really very positive. Okay. But still, yeah, you're right, it's in heliacal phase.
So it makes it very strong.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so which next horoscope should I show?
Any one that you choose. Okay. Take the first one.
Okay, will I get pregnant?
Yes.
Will the person get pregnant?
You can keep it in this position. I will tell you what this case means. This is a lady which asked me some time ago whether she will get pregnant. I was not really very certain because this Jupiter, as you can see, is in a heliacal phase of disappearance. And when we know that Jupiter is significator of children, you can really have doubts whether the lady will get pregnant. But then I noticed, if you open the second chart, is showing the result of the case. Then I noticed that...
Was that like a horary question?
No, it's her natal chart. And this is her progressed chart, which we deal using the heliacal phases of the planets. And you can see that on the 42nd day of her birth, Jupiter is rising heliacally.
So basically all her life it was invisible. Here it is.
Yes.
It's in gray. So children are ruled by Jupiter, which means invisible Jupiter can give problems with having, because it's when a planet is invisible, you cannot manifest in a material way what the planet signifies, which is children.
Yes, especially here. Yeah.
Okay. And on the 42nd day of her birth, after her birth, which
Jupiter
means the
appeared.
42nd year.
Yes, exactly. Jupiter appeared as a morning star and gave her children when she reached age 42.
Wow. And it appears in a decan of Jupiter, in a bound of Jupiter.
Yes. Conjoined Mercury also in a phase, very powerful. You see very powerful combination.
Mercury and Venus, they're all becoming visible. Morning first, they're all becoming visible at the same time in the sky.
Amazing, right? See?
Yeah. So it seems like her life starts at 42, almost, doesn't it?
Isn't this destiny, tell me?
Oh, wow. Yeah, it's shown so clearly.
And she got pregnant when she reached 42nd age.
Wow. So you're using normal progress chart, yeah?
Yes.
But that shows basically when planets heliacal phase, when they become visible. When a planet becomes visible, it can give what it rules. It can manifest, And Jupiter rules the 5th sign. I don't know what sign it rules.
The 10th sign in ancient astrology is linked to the children as well. So when Jupiter appears here in the 10th house, it is also an indication that you will get pregnant.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Okay. Yes. I've heard that in ancient astrology, 10th house is children, and
yeah, that's right.
It's probably your status. It changes as well, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm gonna have Jupiter transit my 10th house now next year, and I'm gonna have a child. So there you go.
Very possible. We have to see it. Very possible indeed.
But I'm pregnant already, so.
Oh, great! We have to check your progress chart, indeed.
And my Jupiter is opposite the sun, so it's always gonna be visible in my life.
Oh, lovely! That's very good.
But it's conjunct Saturn. That's why the delays. That's why I started at 30-something, 35.
Yeah, but this is a good conjunction. They like each other, the two planets.
They're not enemies.
The Uranus planets, Jupiter, Saturn, they like each other. This is very good conjunction you have.
Oh, thank you. Okay, so the next chart.
The next chart was Donald Trump. You can skip this one and go to Paranatalont. It's a very interesting chart here. I will show you. This is a chart of a gay lady, a gay person, and how through the Paranatalont you can see, if you don't know that the person is gay, when you do not look at the other factors like aspects, like position of Venus, Mars, only via every single degree in the horoscope. In this case,
that's called Paranatelonta.
Paranatelonta means rising together of signs and constellations.
Okay.
In this case, Venus, which is signifying very much, Mars is signifying the sexual behavior, but Venus as well Venus is signifying the love life and sensuality. In this case, Venus is between the horns of the Capricorn, and it is a degree which signifies, the 9 degrees signifies that the person can have some deviations in the sexual behavior.
Okay. I see
Already,
on the bum of the Sagittarius here. Where is the horns of the?
The horn is there, the 9th degree, around
I
the
don't
9th
see
degree.
it. Yeah, maybe the picture is a bit. But yeah, Rumen was saying in an interview that when something is between the horns of those 3 animals, the Aries, the Capricorn, or the what was it? Or the Taurus.
Yeah,
they're very horny, very sexually active.
Exactly. And having Venus there, and especially in the 9th degree, when talking about paranatal longitude, this could be an indication of sexual deviation. Of course, there are additional factors, but since you want to hear only how this would be judged with the means of the ancient astrology.
So the 9th degree in sidereal zodiac is connected to being a bit different sexually, basically.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
You might like to see the other case, which is about the rising times, or if you have questions on this, we can continue.
Yes. Yeah, there was something else interesting I remember you were giving about this chart.
Oh, yeah. Well, you see the opposition of Moon and Venus, almost exact opposition, could also be judged as certain deviation in the what Venus could bring to the native. See, this could also help, this deviation in the sexual behavior of the person.
Mm-hmm. And she probably doesn't have children, does she?
Doesn't have children. Also because you see the ascendant passes through the nebula of Cancer. This is also one indication that the person will not have children.
Oh, because Cancer is the sign of motherhood. You would think the opposite.
Yes, that's right. You're very right. But the nebula in Cancer is not very positive when you want to get pregnant.
How big is that nebula? How many degrees?
It starts from the 3 degrees, from the 11th to the 13th degree.
So Cancer, sidereal Cancer, 11th to the 13th, it can indicate problems with motherhood or
anything. It's quite problematic nebula. You have a few in the whole horoscope, but the nebula in Cancer is the one that is really negative, can give troubles, can give really issues in human's life.
I've heard about it that it gives also blindness. Can give problems with the eyes, because nebula is about something fuzzy. You can't really.
And you're right. She has eye problems, indeed.
Wow. And Jupiter is invisible here.
Invisible in the 8th house again. See, problem with children.
Okay, for her maybe it's a personal choice, not a problem.
Oh, certainly. Yeah. This is a choice of the soul before the soul is ascended to Earth.
And probably she's happy with that.
Certainly. A wonderful person, by the way. I'm just saying what is important.
But how
what can be viewed with the means of the ancient astrology. A very sensitive person, very, very, very spiritual.
Oh, with the moon on the ascendant, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Intuitive, and with so many planets in the 8th house, my God, she's an occultist. So
certainly a wonderful person. Yes.
Well, didn't you say that her son was on a sacred degree in?
That's right.
And that makes it spiritual.
Very spiritual. Yes.
So basically, this is a sidereal Aquarius, which means tropical Pisces people. That's why many of them are so spiritual, because there is sidereal Aquarius degrees of spirituality falls currently in tropical Pisces, isn't it? That's why
Absolutely. Very true. Yes, exactly.
Okay, sacred degrees. Yeah, there's certain degrees that apparently to ancient astrology make someone very spiritual, and yeah. Okay, so the next chart.
The last chart. Yes. This was a question on a court case. The person had a court case, and the question was, shall I win the court case? The person won. Why?
That's the birth chart, yes?
This is a birth chart.
Yeah, always birth chart.
Why the person won the court case? Because the seventh house, which is responsible for the court cases in the horoscope, is very good. You see conjunction of Venus, Jupiter, Mercury. This is signifying already that the person will have a court case to win. But the question is when she won. She won when she was 42. Why she won? Because of the rising times of Venus, Jupiter, and Mercury. And when every planet and every zodiacal sign have rising times in the ancient astrology, and when you sum the rising times of the three planets, you end up with the result 42, which says that when the person became 42, she won the court case because of the conjunction of Venus, Jupiter, and Mercury.
In the seventh house, of course.
In the seventh house.
Yeah, if there was, for example, in the 10th house, and you sum up their rising time, it would mean that she would maybe have a big success in her career at the age of 42.
Very true, exactly.
Okay. And would you tell us the rising times of the planets? I'm curious.
Well, they have middle, they have long, they have short rising times, but I will.
How do you know which ones to use?
Yes, I will say the basic ones. Venus's rising time is 8 years, Jupiter is 12, Mercury is 20, the Sun is 19, the Moon is 30, Saturn is 35.
30, the Moon is 30, wow, okay.
Yes, so these are the rising times, and of course they are different. Also the zodiacal signs have rising times, but they are different according to the different longitude. For the States they will be different, for Europe they will be different, you see.
What is the rising time of Mars?
What was the rising time of Mars? Wait, I forgot it 1 second. The rising time of Mars was 15.
So what does it mean, rising time? How long it takes them to rise?
This is the mean time of the planet to rise on the horizon. The mean time of the planet rising.
Minutes, probably in real time. But
yes, the average. And it is a bit different for each planet with some detail. For example, why is Venus 8? You know, because of this sidereal time that Venus is making from one point to come back to the same point in the zodiac. It is 8 years when she is building this pentagram. So there is detail certainly on every planet, but in general, this is the average time when the planet is rising on the horizon. Very similar is with the zodiacal signs.
Sorry, let me just stop that.
Yeah, of course.
Come on.
So basically, I chose typical cases from the ancient Mesopotamian point of view.
I really find this theory really interesting about the rising of the planets. So what if you have Saturn, for example, because it corresponds, the time of Saturn, 35 years, corresponds also to Vedic astrology that Saturn matures at 35 and some super important event happens to be connected to where Saturn is in your horoscope around the age of 35 to 36, which is what definitely happened to me. And so would you say that if, say, someone has a difficult Saturn and it's in the second house around the age of 35 and there's no other planet, they can lose a big amount of money, for example?
Oh yeah, can be a bad sign, can be a difficult period.
What if Saturn is in a great cosmic state?
Oh, then the person can have achievement, rank, can have certain achievement in career, can have certain Yeah, can be something positive. Depends on the house, depends on the zodiacal sign, on the zodiacal state of Saturn.
So
Depends
it
when.
doesn't just like Saturn is a bad planet, Mars is a bad planet, they'll give bad things. Say
Oh
it's
no,
a interior or okay.
oh no, you judge exactly on what your particular Saturn can give to you. It's quite different from person to person.
Okay, oh, so someone has, say, Venus in the 7th house and Mercury there. Can you judge that they can get married at 28, 20 years Mercury, 8 Venus?
Yes, you can, but also, yeah, certainly. But see, it's good also to take into consideration the rising times of the zodiacal signs. Then you can really see and compare. Yes, and compare the time that they give in the person's life.
Do you have an example with the rising signs for us? I find this fascinating. I don't know this.
Example with my own horoscope, for example, my Saturn is in the 11th house, and when I was 35, because of the rising time of Gemini in according to Bulgaria, the rising time of Gemini was 25. It was 35, excuse me. Then I had very big career achievement.
Okay, so you look either at the planet or at the sign.
Yes, depending exactly on the zodiacal state of the planet. So it's not without difference how the planet is positioned.
Uh-huh. And so how do we know what are the rising signs of the signs, the rising times of the signs for each country? Do you calculate it according to where you are born or to where you live?
According to where you're born.
Okay, so always the birth chart is what stays.
Yes, it's the most important, of course. This is the momentum picture of your birth. This is what always works for you.
And who knows those? I mean, how do you
calculate it? There is certainly ancient literature on this, and you can see they state these calculations. There is certainly, right now I don't have in my memory where from you can get it, but you can certainly give separate time on this.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Wow, that's really fascinating, to be honest. You know that, and you say there are also different, this is the mean rising time of the planets. Venus is not only 8, it has another number for it. So
yes, it has, but the thing is that with Venus, it's always different, because with Venus you have to see, you have to follow up the periods that Venus gives into your life every 8 years. Mm-hmm. See, so Venus is very special. Venus is very magical, and Venus gives the good things that Venus gives to a person's life depends where her next sidereal appearance will be every 8 years. So it varies from planet to planet how you judge the planet.
Mm-hmm,
even though you knowing that the rising times of Venus is 8, you still need to see where her next appearance in your horoscope will be.
So give us an example. Venus was became invisible this year because it became retrograde around the spring. Where did it appear again? In which sidereal sign did it appear this year?
I think she appeared in Leo now. No, wait a second.
It became retrograde in Pisces, sidereal Pisces. So might have become visible.
Right now she's in Leo, in sidereal Leo. Where did she? I just forgot where. Do you remember where she became? In which sign she became visible?
No.
I can see very fast, but I don't want to lose your time searching.
No, we have time. It's fine. Because I'm curious, because people can judge this way, wherever Venus became visible, where the next 8 years will bring them something good, isn't it?
Certainly, with Venus is very, very, very interesting, because Venus is making this, she's drawing this beautiful rosette, and she is making this inferior conjunctions during which she's invisible. Then she's making another conjunction during which conjunction, the superior conjunction, when she's again invisible. And all this gives different meanings to the horoscope. Every single conjunction, every single movement of Venus has another meaning. So she has so many faces. When she's more a morning star, when she's an evening star, when she's retrograde but invisible, and all this gives different beauties to the horoscope. She's always good.
Oh, wonderful. So she's better benefic than Jupiter.
Let me see. Oh, yeah, certainly. Let me see when in which sign she appeared. I will try to see very fast in my program. Okay. Mars appeared now, became visible now in Leo, which is, by the way, not very, very positive, knowing that the eclipse happened also in Leo. So let's see what this will bring.
Tropical what?
This is the second.
Yeah. So it means Venus only became visible in Leo?
No, excuse me. No, I said Mars. Mars became visible.
Mars has been, Mars has been invisible the whole summer.
That's true. Yes.
What does it mean when Mars becomes visible?
It's not very good, really, because we know that according to the ancient omens, we know that when a malefic planet is invisible, the character of this planet is a bit softened. It's a bit, and when the planet becomes visible, then you judge what to the certain zodiacal sign this planet can bring. Okay, Venus became visible in Pisces.
Okay, so Pisces, that probably is going to be tropical areas. I'm just saying for people so they can check in their horoscope.
Certainly.
So whatever areas tropically for you guys is, whatever house falls in areas, it might be for the next 8 years can bring something very positive there, because Venus, the goddess of good things, became visible there in her cycle, 8-year cycle. So basically, yes. So check out where, for example, I have areas in the 3rd house. So that would be communication, information, traveling, and stuff like that. Okay. just saying to the audience so they can see where Venus' first appearance could bring for them for the next 8 years something good.
Yes, depending where this zodiacal sign is positioned in their natal charts, then they know what Venus will bring to them.
Yeah. Okay, maybe we can take some questions from people if you don't mind.
Certainly.
So someone is saying, I don't have any planets in the 7th house, but I've been married twice. How do you,
Well, then you see who is the ruler of your 7th house, how the ruler is positioned, whether afflicted or not. This is how you judge.
Can you see with an empty house when a person might get married? For example, what is the rising time of the sign there?
Yes, this could help, but you also look at the ruler. For example, if your 7th house will be ruled by the moon, then you need to follow the course of the moon, the path of the moon, see how the moon is positioned, afflicted or not, waning or waxing. All these matters in order to see. Also, if you want to judge how many marriages one person will have, you can use the Arabic lots, and calculate the Arabic lots and see.
Arabic lots? How would you see with the Arabic lots how many marriages one will have?
Well, you just calculate the lot. There is a formula for every area in life. You can calculate how long the person will live. Of course, you should not use the Arabic lots as a single factor. Of course, you should look at the whole horoscope. Certainly, but the Arabic lots can be of good help.
So what if you have an Arabic lot of marriage conjunct Jupiter, you can have more than one marriage?
Well, I would say good marriage, happy marriage.
Good marriage, happy marriage. Okay.
Yes. You can say the person will certainly marry. If the Arabic lot would be afflicted by Saturn, I would have certain doubts. Then I would seek for another proofs whether that the person will not or will marry.
Oh, and can you, for example, what would make you tell a person you're better off not getting married. Maybe you can have boyfriends, girlfriends, but don't get married. Like, can you say what is one thing that would be like, oh?
It's really difficult. This is a difficult question, but once again, if the seventh house is having malefic planets, imagine having Saturn and Mars conjoined in the seventh house. Then really better not to risk. But it's all encoded in the horoscope. See?
Oh, so people with Mars and Saturn in the seventh should not get married. Maybe the second marriage might be better.
The second marriage, people, you probably could check also the ninth house for the second marriage.
If it's a bit better. I have one of my best friends has Mars and Saturn in Scorpio in the seventh house. And she's had very difficult love life. And she really wants to punish her boyfriends when they break up, and she stalks them for years. And she kind of like, she says, I'm a warrior for God, come here to punish all men. And she kind of always goes for the wrong men, the married guys and stuff like that. But it's very difficult position. And I really hope that with age, she can start choosing and she kind of, her boyfriend's always like, you know, criminals or something like that, kind of like more cruel. But not, guys, if you have Mars and Saturn in the seventh house, don't think you're doomed. I kind of always want to give hope to people, because I've seen people married with Saturn and Mars in the seventh house. They might be a bit more complicated marriages, but I've seen them married. It's just a bit more hard work.
Could be also that they have a benefic planet like Jupiter and Venus making a harmonious aspect to Saturn and Mars. In this case, Saturn and Mars will be much softer, then they will not punish them that badly.
Yes, I don't think she has any hopeful aspect. I remember she'd send them pictures of death when they break up. Like, oh, calm down.
Oh, I see.
Okay, let's see if there are other questions. Someone says, Moon, Mercury, Mars, Venus, all in the 10th house in Aries. What are your thoughts? Maybe that would be Pisces sidereally.
It matters whether the moon will be waning or waxing. What is the status of the moon?
Are your, Sarah, is your moon waning or waxing? Is it, where is the sun? Where is the sun? She's not answering, but maybe, yeah, if you can say, so many planets in the 10th house, what do you think?
This would certainly give events according to what the 10th house will give. It will certainly give her career opportunities, changes in the career, but we need to know the status of the moon. We need to know whether we talk about diurnal or nocturnal chart. It matters a lot.
The day chart and night chart, would it be better in a diurnal or nocturnal chart?
Yes, depends, because you know that the planets have diurnal and nocturnal characteristics, like Jupiter is masculine and diurnal planet, and certainly in a day horoscope, Jupiter will be much more generous. These are factors that you need to see in order to judge whether the person will have achievements in career or in certain areas of life.
Well, Sarah is saying, how do I know if it's diurnal and nocturnal? Are you born when there was sunlight or when there was no sunlight? That's nocturnal chart is when there was no sunlight. Diurnal is when there was sunlight. Okay. Someone is saying, I have Aldebaran opposition with Jupiter. Is that weakening Aldebaran or making it strong? Or
Aldebaran.
Conjunct Jupiter, sorry. Conjunct Jupiter.
Oh, that's good. This is good. But it is important where Aldebaran just cannot be everywhere. There are certain points where Aldebaran can denote something to the horoscope. But conjoined Jupiter is good. Jupiter is benefic. This can give certain benefits too, Deborah.
Yeah. How does ancient astrology look at Rahu and Ketu, the north and south node of the moon?
Well, see, again, they're very karmic. Also in the ancient astrology, there is, saying that Rahu is having the qualities of Jupiter, Ketu is having the qualities of Saturn, but of course, they both indicate some karmic lessons that we need to learn, very similar like the Vedic astrology teaches.
Mm-hmm. So these are not easy points.
No, certainly not.
Even the north node.
Certainly, you need to pay attention to them in the horoscope, certainly.
Well, they say north node gives increase. Well, that I have it in the 7th house. But I've definitely, the most difficult part of my life have been relationships with the north node there. But to be honest, I've had loads of them, because if it's like Jupiter, it gives abundance of it, but with karmic tinge to it.
Yeah. These are lessons. You when you see where Rahu and Ketu are in the horoscope, you know what the person should learn, which lessons, which karmic lessons the person needs to face in this life.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, the biggest lessons are there.
You know it.
The north node in the 7th house, or the south node there, sometimes is even more difficult.
Yeah.
It's like
But
you lose, you get abandoned or something like that. They're both difficult. The other one is you get partners that are, you kind of predatory sometimes, or they might be involved cheating and stuff like that. Anyway.
Yeah.
How do I get in touch with either of you to get a personal reading? There is a link, guys, below for Krasi, for a personal reading with Krasi Atasio. I've put the link below this video in the description. And you can contact Krasi. She's an amazing astrologer with your questions. Krasi is waiting for your orders, guys. I've had a personal horoscope with Krasi, so that's how I found her. And I really like the horoscope. And I was like, wow, this is such a different perspective. Me being a tropical modern astrologer, and Krasi is just taking those things I've never heard about and that no other astrologer could see in my horoscope, because they use the modern astrological means, but Krasi used this ancient means. And no one would ever say when they look at my horoscope, you're very spiritual and stuff. Like they would say, oh, you're such a warrior, you're so strong. No, I'm very spiritual and soft, you know. But anyway, yeah, so thank you so much, Krasi. I'm not going to keep you much longer.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for those great examples. Babylonian and ancient astrology seems to be very about specific events, predicting events, no bullshit psychological reveries and just...
No, you need to be specific. Yes.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Krasi. Have a lovely day, everyone. You see, Krasi demonstrated a fantastic example of Babylonian ancient astrology. So yeah, hope you enjoyed that and you learned something new. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.